Hello, here today showing you how to replace the spark plugs and coil packs on a 2011 Toyota Prius. This should work for the, I don't know what generation this is. I think it started in 2010 until 2000 and I don't know, 15, 16, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, this is the I don't know, I'll show you this body. Also, it's my good buddy's car, so if you guys need solar, check them out right there. SunPower by Ambrose Solar. Check them out. Get you the best deals. They have the best service. You just can't go wrong. So, yeah, if you're in the Northern California area, come check these guys out. Anyway, these coil packs and spark plugs definitely are known to go bad, and when they do, your engine sounds like complete crap. Like it's literally about to fall apart and sounds like it's banging around and making a bunch of racket. So when these start misfiring, don't be alarmed. That's just the noise that they make. It sounds like you have a bad rod bearing or something, or major engine damage. So anyway, check the codes. You probably have a random misfire, or maybe cylinder 1, which is P0301 or P0302 or 303 or 304, maybe even a P0300, which is a random misfire. Yeah, this car has almost 200,000 miles on it, and I'm gonna go ahead and just change out the spark plugs and the coil packs. If you just have a specific cylinder that's misfiring, it may be worthwhile to just explore changing one coil pack. Obviously, you don't need to change all of them. I'm just doing this because, you know, it's a company car. It needs to stay up and running. It needs to stay going. So I'm going to go on ahead and just get these all changed out for them. So follow me in. We do have to remove this windshield cowling. Unfortunately, we have to remove the windshield wipers because, as you can tell, if you try to loosen up one of these and try to pull the coil pack out, it's not going to come out all the way. So we're going ahead and remove this cowling now. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to remove the windshield wipers so that you can take this cowling off. This one right here is held on with two 14mm screws here. I already loosened them up, but just a 14mm will get you where you need to be. Do make sure you know how the windshield wiper was sitting. You know, you don't want to reinstall it and then your wiper just wipes way too far off the side of the window, or excuse me, the windshield. What I like to do sometimes is to put a piece of tape right where this one lines up, so that way when you set it back down, you can just line it back up on the like blue painter's tape. Or if the car is dirty sometimes, when you just remove this, you can kind of see where the line on the window is, and that'll kind of give you a rough idea. So after you remove those two, just set this wiper down on the ground. You'll do that. And this guy over here has a little plastic cap or metal cap on it. You can just use a, I'm using a pick, or you can use a flathead screwdriver to pop it off. Careful, because sometimes it just flies up. Like so, just a little cap like that. And then you also have a 14mm right here to loosen up. Now you should be able to kind of wiggle this guy loose a little bit. This one will probably take a little bit of persuasion to get off. Like so. Okay, so now if you look along the very face of this cowling, you'll see that there's a bunch of little push pins along the edge. Now in this one, on the very ends, there are two circles. There's a circle here and there's a circle over here. There should be push pins in there. Let me show you what it should look like. Let me see if I can zoom in on a push pin for you. Here, down here on the radiator actually. Should be little push pins like these guys right here. Like this guy here or this guy here. I don't know what kind should be there, because honestly they're not there, they're missing, so someone did this job before and didn't put them back. But if it's this kind of a pin, this one just simply pushes down. You'll push it down all the way and then lift the pin out like that. If it is this type of a pin, just stick a flathead screwdriver or this pick in here, and you kind of just pry the center pin up until you can get it completely out like this, and then just pull the pin out like that. So I don't know what kind would be there, but you'll just have to figure that out, I suppose. After you've gotten those two guys out, there's all these clips right here that you can just push in and lift up this whole cowling like that. You just push in all these little tabs. And then lift up the entire cowling as you do so. Just like so. So once you got that all pulled up, if you look on the very ends over here, there's two caps. There's a cap right here. You can just come up underneath it and pop this side off. Same for the other side. That way you can take this whole cowling out. And you can just take and remove the cowling completely like this, set it down on the side. Okay, now that you got the plastic cowling off, you still need to remove this lower metal portion of the cowling that holds the windshield wiper motor and whatnot. So first thing you'll need to do is to disconnect this wire for the wiper motor. It just clips in little plastic clips that press down in here. You can just use a flathead screwdriver and pull them out, and then go on ahead and disconnect this connector right here, and then just set this whole thing down to the side, just out of your way. And then now, if you look inside here, there is a bunch of 10mm screws. All the rest of the 10s you got to take out. So there's one right here that you got to take out. There's one in the very back there. I don't know if you can see it. That one right there. You need to remove this one right here. You also need to remove that one right there that's in the back. You have to snake your way around to that one right there in the back. You'll also need to remove these two right here for the bracket. This one right here, sorry my camera work's kind of shoddy right now, I'm not paying attention. That one right there, and then this other one right here. Pretty much all the 10s you see that are holding this black piece to the body of the car, with the exception of the wiper mounting locations. You shouldn't have to touch those at all. Then once you do that, this whole piece should be able to, be careful for the brake master cylinder reservoir, you'll need to lift that up over this so that you can take this whole entire piece out. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I took out all of the ones I mentioned earlier in the video. However, it appears that the wiper motor itself is attached in the very back behind the motor by a rubber isolator. So when you go to pull this here metal piece out, it doesn't want to come out completely. So what I am going to do is go ahead and remove that 10 right here that's mounting the wiper assembly, and that 10 right here. And then there's one back over here in the corner that I'm going to also remove as well. And then if you there's also one right here in the front too. And then if you look behind the motor back there, there's a small little rubber isolator that's kind of just tucked up in the back right where my finger is. I know it's hard to see it, but it looks like it just slides to the left and you can pull it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and give I should be able to remove this. There's a piece I was talking about that slides in the back, but don't move the orientation of this. Make sure you leave it exactly how you see it here. Just set it down carefully. Okay, so now I'm gonna look for any other 10s that may be holding this thing in here somewhere. I don't see anything else. I'm going to remove this 10 right here so I can remove this bracket. You should be able to lift this entire thing up out of here, pull it straight out, and you can just set this down. So now you can see we have plenty of access to get to all the coil packs, the connectors, and the spark plugs. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and focus on taking off the coil packs, cylinder 1, 2, 3, and 4. In case anyone was confused, first thing you want to do is disconnect this here. Oil control valve. We should be able to just squeeze these tabs and pull them off. However, knowing old Toyotas, most of them are going to break or they don't want to come off. So I always have a little pick so that you can get them off a little bit easier, because sometimes they can be a little challenging. There's a high chance that all of these might crack when you open them up, because like I said, they're old and then they've just been getting hot and cold, you know, for years now. So pretty much you just need to remove all these connectors as best as you can. Just like so. You can just set all the connectors down to the side, that's fine. And then all of the coil packs are held down by 10mm screws, so just loosen them all up. And then remove all the coil packs. If you are reusing the coil packs, as you can see, this one here has got some brown stuff on it already, kind of makes me a little suspect. That's why I'm replacing all of them, because chances are if one of them's bad, the other ones are not far off from being bad as well. So if you can afford it and it's feasible for you, just replace all of them. That way you don't have to pull all this apart again. If you're just doing a spark plug service, then obviously you'll be reusing all of these, and it doesn't matter which cylinder it came out of. I mean, you can label them if you want and put them right back where they came from, that's fine. If you so happen to mix them up, don't worry about it. They're all exactly the same coil pack, so it doesn't matter where they go. But if you just give them a little twist like so, pull them out, you can see all of these have rust on them. That's why these go bad. The original Toyota ones go bad frequently. They also had a design flaw where this windshield cowling would drip water straight down into these things, and that causes misfires too. But yeah, anyway, these are all going to go in the trash. So okay, now that the coil packs are out, you can go ahead and remove the spark plugs. These are not like the traditional 5/8 or 13/16 spark plugs that have been used for years. These ones actually are take a 14mm socket. They're very skinny plugs. This is the tool that I use. It's made by a company called CTA. The part number, I know it's not going to zoom in it, but the part number is 1061 or 1061. It's a 14mm spark plug socket. I use it a lot on like Mini Coopers or BMWs because they also use skinny plugs. But anyway, just going ahead and remove all the plugs, and then we can go ahead and install the new plugs. Okay, so that's all the plugs. They are all out. Now it's just time to get yourself new plugs. I am using the NGK laser iridiums, just the factory plug that goes back into place. Like I said, these plugs have been in here since this car was new. It has 196,000 miles on it, so these are definitely due to be replaced. I will tell you something about spark plugs real quick. You can usually tell. This one's hard to zoom in, but you can see that the threads are shiny, almost like nickel kind of color. These already have anti-seize on them. It's on the threads, so you don't have to put any anti-seize on them. Obviously, unless you choose to, or that's your school of thought, then by all means go for it. But this type of plug doesn't. I don't have another plug that would show you the opposite of that, maybe pick up a set of Champion plugs for like a Ford Expedition or something. You'll see that the threads themselves are black, like kind of oxide looking. Those need to have thread sealer or anti-seize put on them, but these do not. So we'll go on ahead and put these in now. Start these all by hand. Don't use the tool to stick them in there. You can just start them all by hand. Like so. So I'll just do that for all 4 of these. Okay, so now I got all the spark plugs in there. There's probably a torque spec for these, and if you want to look them up, you can certainly do that. I just tighten these up until I feel a little bit of resistance. Usually that's when the washer hits the seat, and then I go on ahead and give it one more quarter turn, and it's usually fine. I mean, I don't know, I've been doing it for a long time, so it just kind of comes by feel by now. If you're cranking on it and you feel it absolutely stop, please stop turning it. Don't turn it anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put all the coil packs in. If you're using your old ones, like I said, doesn't matter where they go, just stick them back in. I do put a little bit of dielectric grease inside of the tip here. I just have a tube of dielectric grease. I just kind of just squeeze a little dab in there. That way the spark plug can make good contact with the tip of the coil pack. So after I do that, just pretty much just slide them right back into place, like so. And you'll get all the 10 millimeters screws and bolt them down. And tighten them all down. And then you can go on ahead and reconnect all of the electrical connectors. Just like so. So now comes the part where you just need to put the metal cowling back into place. Take your time, because this can be kind of, you know, frustrating as you don't get everything lined up, but we'll try and see if we can do it here the first try, although I doubt it. Okay, so I got that in. Now what you want to do is to get all of the 10 millimeters started by hand. That way you know everything is kind of in the correct position before you tighten everything down. So make sure you can get all of these in by hand first. Don't forget to put the bracket back in place here. Okay, so once you're satisfied with where everything is sitting, it may also help to notice that obviously this thing is dirty. You can see where the washer was sitting at to get everything kind of in position. But you're pretty much just going to go ahead and tighten all these down now. Okay, so that's back into position here. Good to go. Then we go on ahead and place the wiper motor assembly back into place. Don't forget that little rubber bushing hooks into the back. Once again, you want to start all these by hand and make sure they're all able to be threaded in straight, not cross-threaded. Then go on ahead and bring the wiring harness back into place and clip it back in. Just like so. Then you're going ahead and grab the plastic piece now. It needs to slide up. Part of it needs, there's clips that slide up under the glass here, and then the rubber piece sits on top of the glass. So make sure you get that correctly oriented. So yeah, you go on ahead and slide. You can see under here there's little tabs that need to slide up under the windshield. So make sure those get under the windshield. as you slide this in. Okay, so that's all in, and then you'll know when you have it correctly positioned when you can get all your clips into place. It should just snap back down right into place, like so. And like I said, if you had the plastic tabs, go ahead and put the plastic tabs back. Don't forget to put the little end caps back and snap them into place. And that guy's on. Now you can put the wiper arms back into place. Put the single wiper, like the smaller wiper, on first. Like I said, you can line it up with the mark that's on the window, roughly. Kind of about something like there. Then just use a 14mm to snug these up. Hold the wiper arm so it doesn't move as you're tightening it. Like so. You can put the little plastic cap back on. And then you get the other arm piece and place it into place. Do remember where it's positioned at as well. And you can tighten this guy up. Okay, and there you have it. So if you have any questions or comments, just ask them in the comment section below. If it's your first time to the channel, appreciate you stopping by. Hit the like button and share this with your friends. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the way out. Don't forget, beginning of this video, check out ambrosolar.com for all of your solar needs. Catch you guys next time.